Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Elder Scrolls of Guild and Coin. Today, I am joined by my wonderful players. We have Pandora's Secret as Lilith. So somebody must be going through his garage. Um, we have Ajanti, played by our wonderful Thurman. Still retching in the cloudy dregs, I see. We have our wonderful Zoe Meowstrom, played by our wonderful Haley.
That's me. I'm the top mage in the totem pole.
Speaking of the totem mage, we have Amrit as played by Brenna.
Hello.
We have our murder machine Zira as played by Irish Bob.
Yo.
And is Jeffrey still there, or is he talking to roommates? He's talking to roommates.
He died. I killed him. I'm sorry.
His studio, his little studio is in an area where his roommates sometimes have to pass through to get to their cars, so it happens. In the meantime, however, we can do a brief recap on what's happened thus far. So last time on Of Guild and Coin, our group managed to travel from Skyrim to Wayrest in the territory of the Daggerfall Covenant in High Rock. There, they managed to do a little bit of crafting, do a little bit of research, and then all gathered at the Cloudy Dregs Inn to rest and prepare for their journey northward to Hrothgar. There, Ashanti decided to challenge a local chef to a cook-off. This challenge was a massive success for Guy Fiero. Ajanti, in the meantime, became the first Argonian in Tamrielic history to suffer both from swamp sickness and food poisoning. There, our group met Emrit, our Altmer mage, who has commissioned the group to travel with him northward to Hrothgar. And it is along the way it was while they were scouting along the way that they managed to encounter a bunch of goblins laying siege to a keep just north of Wayrest. There at Cumberland's watch, they managed to break the siege, and Zero was discovered by the Nord commander there.
I feel gypped.
Having gained the favor of the soldiers at Cumberland's watch, the group was able to rest a bit, and just before they were able to set out along their journey once again, a large wheel appeared in the sky just north of the keep, and these massive chains had dropped from the sky, and a loud horn could be heard. This is the very same occurrence. This is the very same occurrence that our group had witnessed from afar way back in our first session. So it's at this point that our characters who hung back in Wayrest have managed to reach the keep, having seen all the destruction that was left behind in the rest of the party's wake.
It's a good way to find your way. It's a good map.
Yes.
Look for all the death.
There's Pandora's Secret. Say hi for our fans.
Apparently, fans exist. Hello.
All two of them.
All two of them.
But
it's a good number.
Yeah.
Even number is good. I'd like to point out, to test my dice roller, I was rolling one of each of the dice on here, and I got a 92 for the D100, so I've already won.
That's not bad.
Even if I roll like shit, I rolled a 92 at one point. Do bugs even take fall damage? That's a good question.
Okay, so Jeffrey, you're escorting a somewhat weak-legged and queasy Ajanti north of Wayrest. The group had left you guys with directions as far as what direction they were headed when scouting ahead.
Okay.
And as you're walking along the path through the forestry toward Cumberland's Watch, you see piles of dead goblin bodies, and in one spot, even there are several goblin bodies, some of which are charred to a crisp. There's also a few piles of ash that are like starting to scatter with the breeze, and even it looks like a goblin was just like torn to shreds and pulled down to the ground in one spot.
Okay.
And you can't seem to find its heart anywhere in the gore.
Okay. It's always a good sign.
Yeah. But then as you guys hang a right on the path, you come up into a large stone keep that is now in the process, in like the early stages of being repaired after this siege, and you guys find your companions just as they're packing up their stuff, and that's when you hear the horn and the wheel in the sky appears and drops its chains.
Wheel in the sky keeps on burning.
So the rest of you see Lilith and Ajanti approaching. Now, you guys hadn't seen Lilith for a little bit. She kind of, once you guys got to Wayrest, she kind of went off and started doing her own thing to make sure she had all of her things in order.
I did.
Studying up on new stories to tell and new songs to sing.
Yep,
So-
libraries are dangerous.
Once was a
You know,
man
they-
from a strange land called Peru.
So I'll go ahead and let you guys have some interaction now that you're reunited.
Okay. Zero walks over to Ajanti and she waves and she asks if he's
Wow.
done dying now because he missed all the killing.
No, he's still dead.
Apparently.
Oh no!
I brought this thing here with me.
She's like, he looks awful. I mean, he didn't look like super great before, but he definitely looks more awful now.
We lost a person.
Oh no!
I heard budding. Oh. I can hear him slightly.
We can hear you distantly.
You should turn up your mic.
How about now?
Much
Hello,
better.
Away at the bottom of that cavern.
Excellent.
How are you doing?
Okay. How would I describe this? Have you ever seen an Argonian raisin?
I do now.
Literally all of my liquids are out of my body.
You see a regular raisin, I can imagine.
No, it's a little crunchier because all the scales.
Ah,
Imagine Argonian how much worse it saltine.
would be.
that's gross.
Very gross. Oh, hello. I'm feeling much better now.
Good. You don't look it.
Oh no, this is just my morning face.
Wow, that's
Pretty terrible
That's-
morning face.
that's horrifying, actually.
It's
You-
actually the afternoon, but alright.
You guys have seen his morning face before. This is so much worse.
She's like, that's a face you would chew your arm off instead of wake up. Yeah.
Lilith, I'm surprised to see you're alive. I thought your mud crab ate you.
Excuse me. He's a good boy?
Pierre
That has not been proven.
Pierre chitters indignantly from by Lilith's feet.
I forgot his name was Pierre. I was like,
I'm
what?
gonna draw him eventually. Know this. I will draw him with a top hat, a monocle, and a little bow tie. He'll be very dignified.
That's who he truly is. You don't always see it, but it's there. Top hat is always there. And a halo on top of the top hat, of course.
And a halo.
'Cause he is a good boy.
He is
Sure, I don't-
he is best Krabu. Um,
I'm going to pet Pierre with my finger. Because he is a good boy.
He chitters happily.
When I see the mud crab, I start to like gag a little bit.
There's a thing in the sky that's doing stuff. We should maybe also be doing stuff instead of standing around watching people clean up the mess I made.
I don't know. The wheel in the sky keeps on turning.
It does. I've heard.
Horribly mutilated dog monster corpse. And be like, nah.
You guys don't know where you'll be tomorrow, but
Don't talk about Josh that way.
all right. So, as far as the dolmen is concerned, it is just north of the keep, but it's just northeast, whereas the direction you guys would need to head toward Rothgar is northwest. So it would be a little bit of a detour.
About the wheel. I was just saying we should do something because I don't like just standing around.
Well, that's for you guys to decide. It's Tamriel. It's a big place.
Does this wheel have anything to do with our hit?
No.
I'm going for the hit.
Here's the strange pipe I found.
Emreet, you
Yes.
do recognize this wheel. And even as these large chains drop down from it and thunderclouds start forming around it, you kind of get almost like this cold chill down your spine, kind of just remembering what you'd learned about it, and you know it to be a dark anchor, a massive device from Molag Bal's Reign of Oblivion called Coldharbour, being used to draw Coldharbour closer to Nirn. So this wheel is bad news bears.
If one should want to kill particular cultists, one should head toward the wheel.
Zira kind of slowly turns as her eyes light up with murderous rage. That will work. Oh, really?
Yes.
Ajanti, we're taking a detour.
Hold up. Why? I mean, let the guards handle this.
No, those people who brought that wheel, I want to kill them.
Well, that's the spirit. All right, I like your attitude. I mean, I'm not going to stop you.
180 on that one.
You know what? We'll call it a sabbatical then.
Don't worry, we'll still get the guys on the list.
Of course. It's training. We're going to be studying.
Does the body good.
Let's do it.
Anybody else want to weigh in?
What the shit? Excuse me, computer.
I mean, doesn't Cyro want to kill a lot of things all the time?
No, she has a list.
Everything.
Think of Arya Stark in Game of Thrones. She's got this list of people that she's going to kill. She repeats it every night before bed and every morning upon waking
I don't know
up.
all their names. I just know a number. I have a number of them that I feel I need to kill.
Man with
It's a lot.
goatee.
It's a really big number because it's 10 times the number of people of my loved ones and friends who they killed. So it's a lot. It's a lot of dudes.
It's a lot of dudes.
Red guards and their blood debts. All right. So,
Blood dudes.
Lilith,
Yes.
any input on the Dolmen situation?
Hey, I'm down for a good murder anytime. I'm totally on board. I need no convincing. I heard kill. I'm down. Let's go.
Emmerich slowly regrets his decision to hire us as bodyguards.
Oh, that already happened.
Pierre chitters with a little bit of crabby bloodlust.
That's a good boy.
Well, he gets to eat too when we're done.
All right, and then
Yes.
that leaves the only other person, which would be Haley for her input.
I'm gonna go where my totem goes. This is my spot. I have to stay here.
Alrighty. So you guys set out from Cumberland's Watch. And luckily there's a little side road that also leads out of the keep. Like there's a main road that leads through the keep from the west side to the east side. Now you guys are going up to the north side. So you guys follow it up north toward a set of large ruins. And as you get further in, you eventually find where these massive chains converge on a single point, and from atop a rocky rise overlooking a little, almost like bowl-shaped valley in the middle of these ruins, you guys see a gathering of 5 cultists at the base of where these chains have come down and locked with a constructed dolmen of 3 large stones, all glowing with Daedric runes. And you can hear them chanting, and as you watch, they push somebody, like a 6th person, forward toward the dolmen, and that person suddenly starts to be pulled upward toward the wheel, and you can hear their screams as their body just disintegrates into this glowing, ghostly white vapor that gets pulled up into Coldharbour. And Amrit, you would know that person was likely an innocent being sacrificed to Molag Bal.
To be perfectly honest, usually Amrit has his face buried in a book, and this whole walk, there is no book to be seen. He has his eyes fixed on the dolmen.
Ooh.
All right. Well, I don't like this. This is those souls belong to Sithis.
Yeah, so Zira Eldritch Blast one of those magey motherfuckers.
Oh,
How-
yeah, no sneaky.
She's not gonna sneak for shit. She wants to kill him. But she's a little too far away to kill him. But as she progresses forward, she's going to start pot-shotting them.
Eldritch Blast has a range of 120 feet?
Yes.
Okay.
May I roll for sneak?
Yeah, can the rest of us
Great
attempt
diversion.
it, or
I am
or just
super distracting.
we fall?
So did the rest of you kind of like fan out to try to come in and ambush them like a pack of wolves, or?
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
be sneaky boy.
Okay.
Amrit, no, because he's not thinking this through.
Okay, so
He's like 2 feet behind Zira, going, "She'll protect me."
No, he's 2
She's
feet
tiny.
behind you, not thinking that you'd protect him, but too engrossed with staring at the dolmen and the cultists.
I'll protect you. I'm your hat.
Emery, is
Very
it
fuzzy.
a look of anger, a look of wonder, a look of fascination?
It's a little look of fascination and a little bit of. There's like a mild hint of annoyance.
Luckily, Zira is too enraged and focused on the cultist in front of her to worry about the cultist behind her.
Yes.
All right, so Thurman and Jeffrey, I will need you guys to make some stealth checks for me, please.
I hate.
Well,
when-
a stealth check.
All right.
23.
17.
Okay, so you guys managed to sneak up closer to the closer to the dolmen, unseen, and even Pierre is a master of hiding among the rocks and rubble.
Chicka, chicka. Chicka, chicka, chicka.
In the meantime, Zira is striding forward as fast as her short little Redguard legs can take her.
Yep.
With Amrit, with his long Altmer strides following fairly close behind, and the little Khajiit sorcerer sitting on his shoulders.
It might be wise for me to put you down, to be honest.
No, I want ups, not downs. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna put you down.
Okay, fine.
Alright, so I would like you guys to go ahead and make some initiative checks for me.
Ooh, I gotta warm you up, dice.
Well,
Stick you under them.
okay.
15.
Oh, wait, here. Do you want
Yeah.
me to keep track of this?
I was gonna keep track of it, but I would like you guys to put your initiatives into the chat just so I can see them all.
No.
Alright.
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 Okay.
Kidding. Are you a right-hand dice or left-hand dice? You're a right-hand dice. Okay, good to know.
I didn't know that dice could be right or left-handed.
They are. I have found that some dice like left-handed, some dice like right-handed.
All right, then. The new form of dice magic has appeared. One day I'll write a book. The mini schools of dice magic.
And trying to write and talk at the same time, not always the easiest thing to do. Zira, you get to go first in the initiative. You guys get a surprise round, because these cultists are a bit absorbed in their ritual. So go ahead and Eldritch Blast those mofos.
Alright. I get... does a... $16 hit?
No. Yes, it
No.
does. Yes, it
I
does.
was like, whoa, these are armored magic-y mofos. No, okay.
Now all I can think of is
Max damage.
Pierre Lapierre. No.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
10 points as I shoot some guy in the face.
Which one is it? Yes. No.
So the
A
cultists,
black beam extends from her fingertip and launches straight at this dude.
and that black beam streaks toward the group of cultists, and the way this dolmen is set up is there are a set of stairs leading up to where those chains interlock with the dolmen. And there's one cultist standing directly in front of those stairs, and that black beam streaks forward, and even as he turns to try to point to like the next cultist to do their part of the incantation, that black beam hits his face, and he goes flying into the stairs and falls limp.
What a loser.
And I continue to stride forward.
Zoe, you watch this happen from your lofty perch atop the high elf, and
No, she put me down.
he put you down. Okay, so
Sorry.
you're scrambling forward as fast as your little Khajiit legs can take you.
Yeah, I am.
And you guys are about 120 feet away, so...
I'm about 90 feet away, thank you.
Fair.
Drawing ever closer as I start preparing the next Eldritch Blast in my hand.
So, Zoe, what would you like to do?
I have just enough range then to fire a crossbow at someone.
Okay. You draw your crossbow from within your robes, and you level it at the cultists.
Yeah, I took a while to find the dice and roll it. Like 12.
12? 12 would hit.
Oh, cool. 6 damage.
6 damage. Okay. Your quarrel flies in a slight arc through the air and manages to slam into the chest of the cultist next to where the first cultist used to be. And he kind of staggers a little bit, clutching at his chest where the quarrel is embedded. Next up would be Lilith. What is our dark elf up to?
So... Okay. Alright, so... Since I was runny child, I was running, sneaking, how close am I? Am I still far away?
I'd say that since you and Ajanti kind of branched outward and kind of went around in an arc, you guys are actually just a little bit closer. Probably about 80.
I'd say about 60 feet.
Not 60, but 75 to 80 feet.
Okay. I'd like to get myself within 60 feet.
Okay. In order to do that, you'd end up having to expose yourself to view.
I love exposing myself to other people. Let's do it.
Okay. You hop out from behind the rubble, and what would you like to do?
I'd like to... Wait, so there's one Dunzo.
One Dunzo.
On stairs, and then there's one that's got a stabby stab in his body, where a stabby stab isn't usually?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna go for the stabby stab man.
Okay.
The one who's in a bad way right now. Wait, when it enters the area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there. Okay. I'm just a little confused, but alright. So... And then I add a spell attack bonus for hit?
Yep.
So that's a not natural 20 to hit.
Very nice. You definitely hit.
Okay, then... Hang on, let me double check. I'm going between windows here. So it takes 4d4 slashing damage.
Very nice.
Okay, so which is my d4? This is a d4. Okay, 3, and 2? Okay.
And which spell is this? What kind of effect are you creating?
Well, I'm just standing there. Well, okay. It says I need to concentrate up to 1 minute, so I guess it's not going to be anything very epic. I'm just kind of standing there concentrating. And then the daggers appear, and and the guy's like, "What the hell? I already got one stabby thing in me. Why am I being stabbed by other stabby things?"
and even as he's thinking that, those stabby things are starting to shred him to pieces, and he collapses to the ground.
What a loser. So then, I guess I shouldn't tell you this because you're technically playing the enemies. But anyways, yeah, that's the end of my turn.
Alrighty. Ajanti, from within the shadows, the Argonian creeps.
That's the noise, alright.
Alright, how far away am I?
You're about 75 to 80 feet.
Okay, and if I get closer, I will reveal myself, correct?
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead, turn invisible with my daily power.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna see if I can move much closer.
Okay. So you move much
within melee range.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Okay. And then Emrit.
Okay. So, how many are left?
There are 3 cultists left standing there.
Okay. I think
Are they in fireball formation?
I don't need fireball formation. Fireballs for when I want to kill 10 people.
Okay.
Damn.
I think I will walk forward like my normal pace.
Mm-hmm.
Take out a book and what seems to be a pencil. I don't know if they have pencils. I'm gonna pretend they have pencils.
Probably
stick.
a
stick.
quill. A quill.
Okay, but quills require ink.
It's a magic quill.
Okay, that works.
She like writes down on character sheet magic quill.
Magic quill.
Interesting how I got this item. Sweet.
And you can't quite see what he's doing in his little book, but he's doing something. And while he's doing it, he will cast magic missile.
Okay.
Missile.
1 dart for each person.
Okay.
Ooh. 5 damage to the first one.
All right.
5 damage to the second one.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, I love you, D4. And 5 damage to the third one.
Hey, you rolled like me. 3.
Well, it was on a D4, so I'm very proud of it.
Okay. 3 bolts of energy streak out from your hands, and land solidly on all 3 cultists. And Sierra, you are now ever closer to your prey.
Yes. Alright, Eldritch Blast another mofo.
Okay.
It's a lot of mofos.
Yeah, that'll hit. For 8 damage.
Your bolt of dark energy streaks forward, and one of these guys is still stumbling a little bit from the magic missile. And he doesn't even have a chance to recover before that Eldritch Blast just rips into his chest.
Yes, excellent. And I move another 30 feet closer. I am now 60 feet away.
Alrighty, Zoe.
I'm gonna go ahead, keep my distance, and just shoot another crossbow.
Alrighty, go for it.
I got a 7.
7 will not hit.
I would be
Oh,
startled
no.
if it did.
The bolt whiffs right past the cultists and bounces off of the dolmen. Lilith.
Me. Hang on, I wasn't ready. That's stupid. Attack roll? They haven't even gotten attack rolls yet. What does that matter? They're just a bunch of losers. Alright, well, I'm gonna do the more entertaining one since that one's stupid. Shit. Okay, well, I'm gonna move another 30 feet closer.
Okay.
Since it doesn't matter, because they already know I exist. And then, how many are there left?
There are 2.
And they got hit by the magic missile?
All of them had gotten hit by magic missile. So the 2 left standing are kind of clutching at their...
Damblage?
Yeah, they got some damblage.
That's good. I don't know why I like that text. Anyways, the end of each of its turn. I don't know what. Okay, I'm gonna ask a question because I don't understand this. I'm not reading the best website for this, so maybe it's just not included. But try and do Tasha's hideous laughter.
Oh, I love that spell.
And it's like, it must succeed on a wisdom save or fall prone. A creature, and then it's like on the end of its turns, and each time it takes damage, the creature... It doesn't say how much damage it does, it just says they fall prone. Let me see if I can find something else.
It makes them incapacitated. It doesn't deal any damage.
Oh.
So it's more of a area of effect controlling spell. You get to control the battlefield a little bit with it.
They're extremely vulnerable when they're prone.
Yeah.
Alright, hang on, one more.
So
I thought I was prepared for this, but I was very much not prepared.
Tasha's hideous laughter, what it's talking about with the damage is if somebody attacks it and it takes damage, it gets to make another save. But if you just, like, use a spell on them and they fail their save and they're just sitting there laughing maniacally on the ground, able to do nothing but sit there and laugh maniacally on the ground, and no one attacks them, then they will just sit there and stay like that until the end of the spell.
Alright, well...
And while they're incapacitated, someone can, like, sneak up and coup de grace the fuck out of them.
Yep.
Got a coup de grace. I'm just gonna... I moved 30 feet. I'm just gonna move another 5 feet and call it good.
Okay. Ashanti, you are within melee range. You are one with the shadows that flicker around at the base of the dolmen.
I'm gonna go Jurassic Park on their ass.
Yes!
With a Velociraptor screech, you jump forward and attack the nearest cultist.
And with my Blade of Woe, I go da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and I stab them.
Okay, are you using any of the effects of the Blade of Woe, or just the base damage?
No, none of the effects. These guys are chump change. They're not worth it.
Wow.
I'm just gonna get their souls to see this.
Wow.
Okay. Go ahead and do your attack.
Okay,
I like
with
the
both
Blade of
my
Wow.
daggers. Okay, so 18 and 24 to hit.
Oh, both definitely hit.
So that's gonna be 17 damage.
So, you guys hear this horrifying screech. This horrifying screech
Is
as as Ajanti jumps out from the shadows and just shreds this cultist. You guys can now see why he's called the Flying Dagger.
Finally, someone lives up to their name.
Yes.
I don't know. They've been calling me
Yes.
the murder machine, and I've been doing pretty damn good at that.
Yeah.
Better that he be called the Flying Dagger rather than the Very Good Chef. Don't want to mislead anyone.
Unless it's one of those
Damn.
He gave himself, like, food poisoning, and he's immune to poison. Like,
I know, one of those ironic names.
That's talent right there.
right? He's amazing at making poisons, intentionally or otherwise.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't understand my genius.
The last cultist draws a blade and he shouts out over the noise of the crackling electricity that's coming down the chains into the dolmen. He goes, "You cannot stop him. The slave master will rule over Tamriel." And he's going to rush toward Ajanti and make an attack.
God damn it.
That seems unfavorable.
How does a 6 do for you, Thurman?
Oh, no, he's so close.
Mega damage.
Go ahead and I feign. Ah, you got me.
And Thurman is dead.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Emery, it is your turn.
Is it just the one left?
Yep.
Yes.
That one poor bastard.
Oh man. I'm just furiously scribbling something in my book, and I will, I guess, forward. That means I'm 60 feet away, yes?
Yes.
I'm close enough for Toll the Dime.
Oh dear. Here we go again.
Or Toll the Dead, sorry.
Mm.
Let's see.
He needs to make a save.
Yeah, he needs to make a wisdom save, please.
Will save.
Sorry, will save. I wrote wisdom. 'Cause
How does a 12 do?
12 does not succeed, please.
Alrighty.
And he gets a d12.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at 5th, so he gets 2 d12s. Are you a right-handed die? No, you don't care. 10 damage.
Ashanti and Lilith, you guys now understand what happened to that goblin back there in the path. As all of these skeletal hands just reach up out of the ground and start pulling the cultist down and just pulling him apart while he's still alive. And his...
There's definitely the chime of a funeral bell. It's really nice. It's really pretty, but really creepy.
Okay.
And eventually he's nothing but this pile of gore on the ground. You guys look up at this wheel that's kind of... It's not spinning at this point. It looks like it's firmly held in place by the chains. And Amrit, you remember just how much it takes to take down one of these dolmens, and it's not just going to be 5 little cultists. You guys hear another horn blare from the sky, and these almost like meteors begin to fall out of the portal inside the wheel. And when they hit the ground, you guys see several like small, almost impish-looking creatures appear, and they kind of chitter with evil laughter. And a few more of the meteor-like things manifest as zombies on the ground. And in 4 spots, 4 cardinal directions, you guys see these strange, not pillars, but almost like floating metal diamonds hovering above the ground that had risen up from their spots in the ground. And Amrit, you would know that these pinions need to be opened by like kind of feeding them the souls of whatever creature dies nearby, and then the pinions need to be destroyed. You also know that there are 5 pinions that need to be done, but the 5th one hasn't manifested yet.
Okay, so kill the things around it, and then unfasten them.
Yes.
Okay.
So I have my job, which is killing the things. Your job will be getting rid of the little floaty diamonds. Because you know what you're doing. I'm going to kill the things regardless.
Okay, so...
to save a little bit of time, we'll keep your guys' initiative order. And I will add the initiative for the Daedra and zombies.
Amrit will sort of kind of take charge and tell people kill things near the crystals. And I will take care of the crystals themselves.
You got it, boss.
Zoe, you will also be useful in destroying the crystals as you have range.
Hey, I'm always very useful.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're raging, you can't concentrate. Still cast spells, right?
Yes. I think so. For sure. No.
Okay. So, kind of scattered within this circle are 5 scamps and 5 zombies. So, Zira, you're first up in the turn order.
I shoot either of the things, whichever. Designate a target, and I shoot it.
Okay. Are you what are you going for? Whatever's nearest to you, or
No, I will go for the farthest from me since I have a range of 120 feet.
okay. So that would be a zombie on the far side of the circle.
Okay. I will pop that one. 21 to hit.
That will hit. Yeah.
For 10 damage.
For 10 Dermblage. Alrighty.
Damn, fam.
And I move another 30 feet closer. So I'm now only 30 feet away.
Okay, you are now within the circle.
Woo!
Zoe.
Oh, and I draw my blades and out of like their little sheaths, and I rage since that's a bonus action. I'm ready to kill.
So as you step into the circle, you unleash a loud, like, imagine a 12-year-old girl making a roar.
Oh, see, I almost thought it would be more like Xena's like battle cry. Yeah. That was not it, Brenna. I know. We're watching Xena after this.
What?
Can't do it.
All right. So next up
That's much
is Zoe.
I'm gonna turn to Emrit and be like, "What's the best way to take down one of the crystals?"
Kill shit. Do I know that answer? We have to kill things first.
Kill shit?
Yep.
It's not a bad answer.
All right, so I'm gonna move. Can I move 30 feet, then make an attack?
Yes, you may. That will bring you into the circle.
Yeah, I need to get closer to the guys so I can kill them.
This is not gonna be good.
I'm pretty far away from everything, I think. I just want to get close enough so I can use Silux, like, snowball swarm.
What's the range on it?
90 feet.
Oh yeah, you're definitely within range. You don't even have to move closer.
Yeah, maybe just don't move closer.
All right, cool. If I can
Just
stay away from
as
fighting,
the
that's
person
great.
going after you, maybe don't move closer.
Right, so it's a 5-foot radius spear, and it's at a centered point, and whatever is in it needs to make a dexterity save. So I'm going to put it near the crystal wherever baddies are.
Okay. There are 4 crystals, one at the north, south, east, and west. The crystals are encased in this diamond-shaped metal casing, and there's about 2 to 3 of these creatures kind of scattered throughout the circle near these pinions. So take your pick.
I'll just go for whatever one's closer and to the
Okay.
right.
Okay. Then in that case, that would be your the pinion on the. Let me pull up the map. That would be the pinion on the western side of the circle.
Go west, young Meowth, and wreck shit up. So I'll go ahead and cast that, and since it's a save, just tell me whenever anyone goes into that spot.
There are already 2 things in that spot. 2
Dexterity save for them.
Actually 3 things. 2 scamps and a zombie. So dexterity checks for all of them. So one of the scamps actually critically succeeded on its save.
Damn.
Rude.
Another scamp also succeeded. Not critical, but
Scam.
may as well be. And then
Also rude.
and then the zombie
Damn.
got a 14.
14 is exactly what I have for the save DC.
So what I personally do in D&D games is Defender wins if the defender is a player.
Oh, cool. I get a pity point. It's for me.
So go ahead and do your damage.
All right, so that's 3d6. Let me find that dice.
Glitch, dingle, dangle, glitch.
How much Turnblitch did you say?
12.
12 Turnblitch to the zombie?
All that ice cold durblage.
Alright, so
Sure.
so that zombie is the same one that Zira had walked up and had blasted. Zira, from ahead of you, you see the zombie suddenly... actually, Zoe, go ahead and describe your spell effect as you destroy this Zermble.
All right, so just cold manifests in the air and just chills this zombie to the bone. And the ones who succeeded, they get half damage.
Kills them to the bone.
I just want ice sculptures for the wedding, the murder wedding.
You said the ones who succeeded get half damage?
Yeah, so that's just 6.
Okay. Okay, so frost begins to form in the air ahead of Zira as 2 scamps are suddenly frosted over with a thin layer of ice. And the Zermble actually freezes enough to the point where it actually, mid-movement, begins to crumble and fall apart into just these pieces of icy gore.
Damn.
Yes. And now,
Correct.
all of the scamps start chittering loudly, and they begin to make their attacks.
No. Jeffrey goes next. No.
The scamps get a different initiative.
I know.
So,
I'm just mad at this unforeseen thing.
So some of the scamps that are situated near Thurman start chittering loudly, and fire begins to form within their claws.
Stop this. I don't like this.
The first one crits,
No!
and the second one... How does a 22 do?
Yeah, obviously.
Do.
It's like it's getting a little hot in the kitchen. Johnny, you better get out.
Damn.
I know I'm good at cooking. Yes, what does that have to do with anything?
10 fire damage as the as the first scamp shoots a bolt of flame at you. And then the other one kind of glances at your shoulder, dealing 6 fire damage.
Okay. Those 2 are dead.
Or will be soon.
Very soon.
Zira, the two scamps that are nearest you, they both run towards you.
That's cute.
They both run towards you, and they slash their claws at your at your legs, given how short they are. The first one deals an 11 to your
Did
AC.
it hit me?
No, 11 to your AC.
Oh no, God no.
And then the other one, 20 to your AC.
That just barely hit, yeah.
Okay, please make a strength saving throw for me, please.
Ooh.
And you take 8 slashing damage.
That will be a 22 on my saving throw, and I take 4 slashing damage. Thank you very much.
The creature, when it comes up and hits you with its claws, begins trying to scramble up your leg and onto your back. But you manage to, you manage to throw it off of you, even as it chitters angrily at you. The last scamp is over near where Lilith is. And it's going to run towards you, Jeffrey.
Oh, sorry.
No.
The one that missed me,
It's not
Josh.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
I use my ability to, since it missed me, I get to attack it
I didn't consent to being murdered.
as my
Which of-
reaction.
Okay.
That would be a 23 to hit.
That
Hello.
hits.
Okay.
What? What's going on?
With my
Hello?
infused.
Jeffrey,
dagger.
Zira's making a reaction on her turn. Or not on her turn, but on the scamp's turn.
Okay, I just hear you for some reason.
For 15 points of damage.
So the one that missed, like, you throw off the one that tried to climb up you, and then even as that other one's scrambling to try to get back up onto its feet, you plunge your sword. You plunge your sword toward the scamp. You said 23 damage?
No, just 15.
15? And okay, so you slash at it, and your blade meets a certain level of resistance as you try to slice through Daedric flesh.
My blades are treated as magical, by the way.
There's still a little bit of damage, or not a little bit of damage, a bit of resistance. But it does manage to slice through the scamp, and it dies.
Okay.
All right, so back to Lilith. The scamp charges towards you, and it's going to swing its claw at you.
It's rude.
For 10 versus your AC.
Ha! It's not gonna hit me.
Seeing that its claws can't get through your armor, it screeches at you a little bit and then tries to sink its teeth into your leg for a whopping total of 8 versus your AC.
Oh yeah, that somehow managed to hit. No, okay.
You're kind of staring at it as it's down there going.
Come here, you little shithead.
It's
Can
almost.
I get a reaction where I just kick it? Get out of here.
I'll allow it.
Alright, I'm
Go-
gonna kick him.
Go ahead and make a
It's annoying.
Go ahead and make a basic melee attack. So just a strength check versus its AC.
Okay, D20 and then strength modifier?
Yeah.
14.
You hit. So go ahead and do some damage.
What should I roll?
D4.
D6.
Yeah, D4.
D100?
D4 plus your strength modifier.
3?
So you hit it, and it's rubbing at its cheek, like a couple feet away from you where you kicked it, and now it's your turn.
Okay. Is there an area I can run into that has a lot of enemies?
Yeah. So you had managed to kind of go around the south side of the circle, and there is a little group of 3 zombies next to it.
Okay, I'll go party with the zombies. So, if I move 35 feet, can I be like in the middle of all the zambles?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna do that, assuming they're probably within 5 feet of me.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Josh, get ready. I'm gonna use Thunderclap. So you gotta pass Constitution save or take damage.
Alrighty. Constitution saves.
For all the boys.
What's
Wait,
the DC
I
on
should
that?
Probably have my. I don't know. What's your roll, Joshua?
I need to know your spell save DC.
15.
15. Only 1 succeeded.
What losers? All right. So wait, it's 1d6. Yes. All right. So I'm gonna roll it twice. First one. Get ready. Okay, 2. 2 damage.
Okay.
All right. Get ready for a 6, and that's 4. So it's almost a 6, kind of. So yeah, get nerded, nerds.
Alrighty. And anything else you want to do on your turn, or?
I don't know. Is there anything else I should do?
Not really.
Yeah.
Ashanti.
Yes.
The 2 scamps on your side of the circle. You're on the northern side of the circle.
Very well.
They threw fire at you.
Well, that ain't going on for much longer. Okay, so I'm gonna bum rush one. And question: have you seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3: Stardust Crusaders?
I have not.
Okay, never mind. Then this won't apply to you. I'm just gonna fucking stab him to death, more or less.
Okay.
Really
That
hard.
was so specific. Approximately 10
Okay,
minutes.
so I'm gonna
and
get
53
2
seconds.
dagger attacks, and then I'm gonna use my bonus action to do an extra attack.
Okay.
All right, so that's gonna be 2 hits and a crit.
Very nice.
And if I kill one of them, can I, with enough damage, can I transfer one of the attacks to the other?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
And are any of my allies within 5 feet of these scamps?
No.
Okay, so no sneak attack.
No sneak attack.
Okay, so the first flurry of daggers is going to be 15 damage on the scamp.
Okay, which daggers are you using?
I'm using the Blade of Woe and just another dagger.
Okay, so I will need the damage separately for those blades.
Okay, so for the Blade of Woe, it's going to be 11 damage.
Okay. It sinks into scamp flesh nice and easily, dealing a significant amount of damage to the little Daedra.
Excellent. And then the other dagger does 4 damage.
Your other dagger follows up within the Blade of Woe's cuts and finishes off the scamp. And you see, with your Argonian eyes and with the help of the Blade of Woe, instead of the soul kind of dissipating and going back to oblivion as most Daedra do, instead you see for a brief moment this misty energy that is the Daedric soul instead be pulled up toward the northern pinion and get absorbed into the crystal.
All right. Well, we got to break that thing eventually. And now for my second attack. Ha! Okay, I'm pretty sure a 22 will hit.
Yes, it will.
And that's going to be 10 damage to the other scamp.
With which blade?
Blade of Woe.
Okay. As before, the blade sinks easily into Daedric flesh. And it screams out in pain and chitters angrily at you.
Excellent. He loves it.
All right. Is that your turn?
That's my turn, yes.
All right. Emrit.
Okay, do I know about how much pounding these crystal things need?
They're pretty much it's made out of the metal that encases the crystals is ebony. And so that you're not able to break through it until the crystal has absorbed enough energy to open up the casing.
Okay.
Probably the only one that looks like it's even close to opening is the one on the northern side of the circle near where Jonty's at.
Okay, and how many of the little things are left?
There are 4 pinions, one at each of the
No, I
cardinal
mean-
directions. Oh, how many?
Critters.
How many little scampers or
Yes.
zumbles? Over near Thurman, there's only one left. Near Zira, there's one, and on the far side of the circle, on the eastern side, there's one scamp and one zombie. There are 3 zombies down on the southern, near the southern pinion, near where Lilith is.
Okay.
Do not touch the one I'm fucking with.
The okay. What to do? I think I will. So the 3 zombies that are in the southern section.
There are 3 zombies in the southern section down near Lilith.
I am going to
'Cause I'm a psychopath.
firebolt one.
Okay.
Don't miss.
You'll hit.
Don't kill Jeffrey.
None of them are in fireball formation.
Peter and Jeffrey are good boys.
2d6. Let's see.
Firebolt is a D10. Isn't it?
2d6 at 5th. Did I write that wrong? Did I write things wrong? Give me a second.
Because it's a D10. That should be 2.
Oh, I wrote a 6 where I should have written a 10.
Oops.
I was like, what do you mean firebolt's a D6? When the fuck did that happen?
I was sleepy when I was writing this.
Nerf this.
I blame sleep deprivation.
It's not to say that's severely disappointing.
Oh yes. Anyway, I think they need to make.
So you're fireballing them?
I'm fire bolting.
Fire bolting. Okay.
1. And I think I need to make a spell attack.
Yes.
That would be a 19.
Okay, that will definitely hit.
Okay.
Um,
D10.
you take your quill and you kind of you swing it back behind yourself, and then kind of make a sweeping motion forward toward the zombie. And the fire actually, instead of streaking through the air, actually kind of rises up out of the ground and travels in a straight line along the ground before hitting the zombie.
Okay.
Almost as if your quill was a magic wand sending the firebolt.
I like it. That would be. That's super cute. 10 damage.
10 damage.
And is it still up?
It is still up. It is also on fire.
Okay. I would like to spend a focus point. And do it again.
Okay. You raise your arm back up and sweep it forward. And are you attacking the same one or a different one?
Different one.
Okay. The one closest to Jeffrey, or the untouched one?
I know what you're asking, but you're cutting out really bad.
The one closest to Jeffrey, or the one that hasn't yet been damaged?
The one that hasn't been damaged.
Okay, go ahead.
That would be a 16.
Alrighty, that will hit.
That's also 10 damage.
Very nice.
He's also on fire.
He is also on fire. Alright, anything else on your turn?
No, that should do it.
Alright. So, Jeffrey.
Yes.
The zombies shamble towards you. 2 of them are now on fire, so their rotting flesh is kind of like crackling and boiling a bit. Very ew. And the first one, the one that's not on fire, kind of
I preferred that one.
kind of limply swings its arms. It swings its arms at you.
Okay.
For a 21 versus your AC.
Yeah. That's almost gonna hit me twice. Is
Um,
what that's gonna do.
And it does a grand total of 6 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Hey, at
I'm-
least we're not playing level 1s, because I've almost died in 1 hit before, so that's good. Don't write in pen, that's an awful idea.
One of the ones that's on fire also swings its arms at you for 11 versus your AC.
No.
It kind of misses. It does. Yes, Bob. The roasting zombies do smell better than the mud crab gumbo.
That stuff was vile.
Dare you? Pierre is offended.
16 versus your AC, Jeffrey, for the last zombie.
Yes.
Uh,
Ouchie.
for 5 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
The zombies are kind of listing a bit as they're swinging their arms limply at you.
They're being assholes is what they're doing.
That is what they're doing. Zira, you have one more scamp in front of you.
To be fair, I did give them the clap, so they have every right to be mad at me.
Okay. Aside from the scamp next to me, how far is the next closest target?
That would either be the one scamp on the northern side of the circle near Ajanti, and or the zombies that are all clustered around Lilith.
Okay, how far am I from Lilith?
Oh my god.
I would say maybe 50 feet.
Shit. Okay, because I cannot get close enough to Lilith in order to attack those zombies too.
Lilith's got it.
Okay.
Oh
Alright,
yeah.
then I will just cut the scamp who is next to me.
Okay.
Yeah, that hits. Not even gonna worry about that one.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. And it takes 13 points of damage from my magical blades.
You cleft the scamp in twain, and behind you, you hear a loud like almost like metal grating on metal. And Amrit, you can see that pinions suddenly opens up, and there's a glowing, like a bright white glowing soul gem on the inside, now exposed.
How close am I to that?
It's behind you, maybe about at most 10 feet.
Okay. Is that something I can attack? Oh, Magic Man? Now that it is open?
Is it? An excellent question.
It is open. It is no longer protected by that ebony
No.
casing.
I mean, like, can a blade attack destroy the crystal, or is that like a magic thing?
You can certainly try.
Okay, I have 2 attacks left. Might as well.
Such a job.
After like cutting the little dude in half and like hearing that noise, I pivot and look at that crystal that is now exposed, and I go ahead and slash the fuck at that now.
All right, go ahead and make an attack.
19 plus 8, so 27 to hit the inanimate object.
All right, so you swing your sword. You swing your sword at it.
That crystal.
And your blade actually glances off of the crystal, and the vibration up and down the orichalcum blade, the vibration travels down the hilt into the tang, and it's actually like it's just enough to make you incredibly uncomfortable. You've never felt orichalcum vibrate like that,
Okay.
and the crystal looks to be undamaged.
Cool. So that's a magic problem, not my problem. In that case, I will move towards the next target then, since I can do nothing about these crystals.
Alrighty.
So whichever is closest to me.
That would either be north or south.
Is the one at the north unattended by someone killing it?
Oh no, that's the last scamp that Ajanti's working on.
Okay, so Jaunty has the north.
Yeah.
Lilith is at the south.
Yes.
I got the west.
You got the west, and I was handing out damage in the east.
No, you were handing out damage in the west.
I was handing out in the west? Okay,
Yeah.
then that means Zoe was in the east.
Thanks for not murdering me on your rampage. I appreciate it.
Okay. I will go ahead then and just head towards Lilith.
Okay.
She looks like she's getting cut up, so
Alright, so you're
that
about...
would probably be helpful. So now I'm only
Save
20
my
feet away
life.
from you, Lilith.
Yeah.
I'm not a smart person.
Alrighty. Next up is Zoe. So Zoe, you're currently on the western side of the circle. You can move within the circle to get within range of the east if you need to.
But the whole crystal thing's still there, right?
There is a crystal right there in the west. Yes, it is, and it is open.
I want to bother it.
You want to bother it?
I want the shiny.
Okay, so you go up to the crystal. Would you? Are you going to try to cast a spell on it, or would you like to make an Arcana check?
I'd like to make an Arcana check.
Okay. Go ahead and do so.
Excuse me, card. I'll tell you could make loud noises.
Hold on, my computer's being a dick.
When we go on our break, we might want to change the region that our server is in.
19.
19 hits, or not hits.
Hit it with knowledge.
Okay, so
You did a think.
when you get up close to the crystal, you recognize from what little bits of study that you were able to do on magic, especially more recently, and from the little bits of enchanting that you've learned, you think you might be able, if you can send a powerful stream of magicka through the crystal, you think you might be able to shatter it from the inside.
Electrocute it. Electrocute it. Solve all my problems.
I'll give it the clap.
So I will let you go ahead and either cast your spell or make an Arcana check to try to channel that magic.
I want to thunder wave it.
All right, go ahead and thunder wave it.
That's not the clap.
I know it needs to make a save, but I need to look up what save it is.
You won't have to. I can tell you already that it's not going to make the save.
Can you say that again? You cut out.
I can tell you already that it's not going to make the save.
Okay, cool. What should I do then?
Cast your spell.
I do that.
Thunder wave. I accidentally typed in thunder rave.
Thunder Thunder Wave.
All right.
I got 4 for damage, and it needs to be pushed back. If it can get pushed back? Question mark.
It can't be pushed. You cast your spell, and the gem inside cracks. The ebony casings clamp down over it, and the pinion sinks down into the ground and is no longer active. All right, so that's 1 pinion down. Next up would be the remaining scamps. Thurman.
Yeah, do
The creature chitters angrily at you and is going to run up towards you. And it is going to slash at you with its claws for a wonderful 8 versus your AC.
Whoa! No, it doesn't hit.
He's killed for a second time.
Its claws glance harmlessly on your on your leg, and it then tries to start clamping its teeth down on your leg, going It's
I'm having an odd flashback to this scenario.
Yeah, it's almost as effective as a toothless chihuahua trying to bite at your hand.
Hey, they could
Adorable.
be dickwads.
My gumbo has more bites than you.
Your gumbo is more lethal than them too.
Kills a lot more stuff, that's for sure.
The last scamp in the at the eastern pinion is going to throw fire at you as well. And it is going to do 17 versus your AC.
That's just enough.
Just enough. The fire streaks forward from its hands, dealing a wonderful total of 4 fire damage to you, lightly searing your already dry scales.
Someone's gonna need some lotion later.
Yeah. Or I can just shed. You ever seen Argonian shed?
Well, I believe you were shedding during the cooking challenge. That was one of the seasonings you added.
That was the secret ingredient.
Makes me cry on the inside.
Never eating anything you cook again ever.
Don't worry, you'll have many chances to eat my food in the future.
Oh no.
No.
Lilith, it's your turn.
It's the exact opposite of what all of us want. I don't even know what spell to use, man. I want to, actually kill something for myself at any point. But, oh my god, no! My paper is stuck to my lint roller. What a disaster. Alright, we're good. It's been successfully removed. Well, here. Wait, how far am I from the boys? Are there still Zambos, or are the Zambos dead again?
The 3 Zambos closest to you are still right there adjacent to you. 2 of them are on fire, 1 of them is not.
Oh. Okay. Well, I got a katana, so I'm gonna slice at one of the fire boys.
Okay.
Are you ready, fire boy? I get it here. Yes, a 17, sir.
That will hit.
Okay. I'm gonna get a D10. There's a D10. Plus 2. 11 damage.
You slash at the burning Zambo, and its head goes rolling on the ground, and its head's just kind of briefly there for a moment, gnawing absently at the air. And what's your passive perception?
I don't have that written down.
10 plus your perception.
Does it help if I have proficiency?
Yes.
13? No, 14.
You're pretty sure it's trying to mouth the words, I was 4 days from retirement.
I knew it'd be something stupid.
The
second you start talking, I was like, give it a second.
Alright.
You're real dumb.
You have 2 more Zambles on you. If you're able to do anything else on your turn.
Again, every time I've ever played D&D, it's you move and you attack. I attacked. I'm not a cool rogue guy. I can't do a second attack. I don't know if I can cast a spell. Can I throw something at him?
I mean, if you have a spell that uses a bonus action.
I don't know if I do, though. I have a spell that might be helpful, but I don't know if I can use it as a bonus action. Hang on, let me look it up. Oh my god. I had all caps on. That's horrifying. Alright. I don't think I can, because it doesn't say as an extra action. Also, I don't think I can use it on myself, given the description of the spell.
Alright, fair enough.
But it says, a creature you touch. I don't think I can just poke myself and be like, aha!
Oh, you can touch yourself all you want.
Listen, I know that more than anyone on this earth, but I don't know if it works in D&D.
Alright.
Problem-wise.
Ajanti.
So cool.
You have...
If it's a healing spell, you can heal yourself.
It's an Invisibrew spell.
Oh, that works on you.
Yeah, that works on you. Yeah.
God damn.
Invisibly touch yourself.
Still, it... I love
Hide
that.
your shame.
It doesn't say anything about a bonus action, so I'll hold off.
Okay. Thurman.
Yes.
You have 1 scamp gnawing at your leg.
Kick it.
That one's the closest one to you. The other one is about 50 feet away over at the eastern pinion, and that was the...
away?
About 50 feet away. That's the one that most recently threw fire at you.
Okay. Well, here we go. I'm gonna stab this one right here in the face.
Okay.
Blade of Woe.
Yes.
Does a 17 hit?
Yes.
Okay.
Blade of Woe.
That's gonna be 10 damage.
It cuts nice and easily through the scamp's flesh, and its head goes rolling. The body begins to disintegrate, and behind you, you can hear that shink as the ebony casing around the pinion opens up, exposing the soul gem.
Excellent. Are any of my allies being attacked by Zimbabweans or little scamperoos?
I have multiple Zimbabweans.
Yeah, about 50 feet south of you, there are 2 Zimbabweans attacking Lilith.
Zimbabwe.
Okay. I'm gonna
I'm
move
about 20 feet from them, so...
Okay, I'm gonna move 20 feet closer to them, and I'm gonna
Okay.
use a bonus action for my second attack to throw my Blade of Woe at one.
Okay.
Damn.
And since my ally is within 5 feet of it, I get sneak attack damage.
Yes, you do.
Woohoo! My presence.
You guys both cut
accomplished
out.
something.
I crit.
Very nice. Very nice. Go ahead and do your Durmblage.
Murder all the things.
And this is why they call me the Flying Dagger.
Now it's literal.
Remind me, do I get to do I get to double my sneak attack dice?
Not your sneak attack dice, just your weapon damage.
I thought it was all dice. It's all dice rolled on an attack.
We'll double check during our bio break.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
I've played enough rogues to know it is in fact
Brenna says she has played enough rogues to know that it is in fact double all your dice, whatever dice are being rolled for the attack.
Holy crap. Then,
Okay, well,
yeah, go for it.
do over 30
Rogues
damage.
critting do so
Du-
much.
double all your Durmblage.
Okay, 42 damage.
So, Jeffrey,
Uh-huh.
You turn around as the Zermble that isn't on fire. It
Uh-huh.
it lurches forward, and just when you think it's actually trying to go in and bite at you,
And
you
I'm
see
screaming, yeah, 'cause
you
I'm
see
about to die.
you see a blade just burst out of its forehead.
Oh.
And the zombie just like crumples in front of you.
Oh. Damn, I knew I was good, but I didn't know it was that good. Killed him with my mind powers.
All right, Ajanti, is that all on your turn?
That's all I got.
All right, Amrit. There is a pinion exposed on the northern side of the circle.
Would I need to do an Arcana check to see if a magic missile?
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
That is a 20.
As Zoe had figured out, it would take just as long as you can get a strong enough surge of magic through it, it should work.
Okay, so a magic missile might actually do it.
You can try.
Shut your god.
Okay. I'll try it. Or should I just do firebolt?
I would say just do firebolt.
Yeah, I'll just do firebolt.
It does more damage.
Firebolt away.
Oh, I need to roll to hit. Oops. Does a 16 hit the exposed crystal?
Yes, it does.
Awesome. Ooh, 14 damage.
The flame encapsulates the crystal, and you see it's almost as if the flame like stops moving for a brief moment before being sucked into the crystal, and the crystal cracks, and the casing clamps down on it and sinks down into the ground, and you have broken the second pinion.
Cool.
Alrighty. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
No, I think that'll do it.
Okay. The last Zamble, it's still on fire a little bit, so you watch Jeffrey as a bit of charred flesh just sloughs off of it. And then it's going to swing at you for a grand total of 11 versus your AC.
Nope.
Okay. Then in that case, we're back at the top of the turn order with Syrah. There's only one more Zamble left over by Lilith. There is one Zamble over by the eastern pinion and a scamp over by the eastern pinion.
How far am I from that?
At this point, about 50, 60 feet away.
Okay, because I'd moved 20 feet in the direction south from where I was at in the west.
Yeah.
And so I'm about 50 feet from...
Yeah, these pinions are all equidistant from one another.
To the remaining zombie in the south.
Mm-hmm. One remaining zombie in the south. It's looking worse for the wear.
That's a crit.
Salute.
Excuse me. Thank you.
That will be 26 points of damage.
The zombie standing next to you, Jeffrey, the one that's still burning and tried to hit you but didn't quite. It goes to try to swing its arms at you again, and right as its arms move forward, they drop to the ground.
Yeah.
And it's just standing there, armless, staring at you, all confused. And then a blade appears in its chest, and it drops to the ground. Your mind powers are awesome, Jeffrey.
Yeah,
I
and then
know.
the blade disappears and comes back to my hand.
And then I look at her
continue
and
my,
I
kind
say,
of circle walking towards the east, towards the next targets.
and then I look at her and say, "You're welcome."
And if I move, I can move the 30 feet to get closer, which puts me about 20, 30 feet away from those guys.
Yes.
All right, I will throw another blade.
Okay. Before you do that, behind you, Jeffrey, at the southern end of the circle, you hear metal unclasping, and when you turn to look at it, the soul gem inside is exposed.
Ha! All right.
And it's the little tiny shambly little fuckers that throw fire, right?
The little scamps, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna aim for that asshole.
Okay.
Does a 20 hit it?
No.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
I
That's an
figured.
armor class of 40.
17 points of damage.
Okay. Your blade goes flying through the air and sinks into Daedra flesh, and you watch as its body begins to disintegrate into ash.
Nice.
Okay.
I just like the image of Zero just casually strolling around, like in a circle around this thing, just like, kill that thing, move on, kill that thing. Maybe she'll skip a little.
Zoe, there is one zombie left at the eastern pinion, and the pinion to the south is open.
I'm going to go to the pinion in the south.
Okay.
Gonna hit it with my lightning rod.
Okay. So you're able to get to within about 20 feet of it, but I think your lightning can reach it.
Oh, then I'll, let me check the range for lightning lure. You said 20 feet?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm just gonna take my movement and then wait till I get closer to it.
Okay. If you'd like, you can dash instead of doing your regular movement.
Oh yes, I'll just dash.
Okay.
Dine and dash.
Okay. Then after Zoe, there are no more scamps. So Lilith. So there is one Zamble at the eastern pinion, and the pinion next to you is open.
Am I close enough to get there this turn?
To the Zamble?
To the pinion?
To the pinion? Yeah, the pinion's less than 10 feet away from you.
Okay. So, I'm assuming I need to make an Arcana check as well to figure out the shizzle.
Yeah.
She did an Arcana check, but, like, we don't know that.
Yeah.
So, okay. I'm gonna do that. I just check out my Arcana here real quick. Alright. I'm not working with much, but we'll see how it goes. What? Okay, there we go. I don't... Okay. Anyways. 17.
Just as the others had found out, if you can send a surge of enough magicka through the crystal, it should destroy the pinion.
Did you say a surge of magic? I got a surge of it should destroy the crystal.
Yeah, surge of magic.
Okay.
And you can either do that by making an Arcana check or by casting a spell on it.
Wait, I make another Arcana check and I can... What?
Yeah. So the first Arcana check was more of a knowledge check. The other one is actually channeling Magicka through into it.
Okay. Well, I'll do another Arcana check in hopes that that goes well.
Okay.
Okay, I'm working with 2. That's not natural 20.
Okay. Zoe, as you're as you're running toward the pinion, you see the dark elf turn, and she raises her hand toward the pinion, and you see a bit of fire kind of ripple across her skin with all of her like dark elf ancestral magic, and a bright light of magic kind of streams out of her hand into the crystal. And the crystal cracks, and the pinion shuts down and sinks into the ground.
Wait.
Whoa!
Whoa, man! That was super intense.
Super righteous!
Oh no! My magic has after effects. I've turned her into a surfer dude.
Ashanti. There is one zombie left at the eastern pinion, and that is also the last pinion left.
Alright, I go grab my dagger that I threw, and I guess I will walk over there and stab him.
It's not killing enough. He's sad now.
It's just not enough.
Guess what's the difference of one more?
Stab, I guess.
I'll just do it. Whatever, man.
I guess a 13 and a 14 will hit.
Yep, they both hit.
That's my favorite character.
I guess 13 damage will do.
Damn.
With the Blade of Woe.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Is it still alive?
It is still alive, but
Hex.
it's definitely looking worse for the wear. Like, you've managed to slice quite a few tendons to the point where its arms are just kind of hanging there limply and unusable.
Oh, well, I guess I'll use my bonus attack to end it. I mean, I got nothing better going on, I guess. Yeah, 17 will hit.
I'll just kill it then.
10 more damage with the Blade of Woe.
Andrew's the Eeyore of our group.
I think this might have a little bit to do with that bard magic. It turned Zoe into a surfer dude and made Ajanti super bored.
Magic.
Just can't be happy. Magic.
You plunge you casually plunge the Blade of Woe between the zombie's eyes, and it drops to the ground. And
It's like
up ahead of
Steven's
you,
wild magic.
and up ahead of you, the final pinion opens up, exposing its crystal.
So these are soul gems, right?
Of a type, yeah.
Can they be used for enchanting?
Arcana check for me, please.
All
That's
right.
like the worst idea ever. Love it.
I got 5.
It is a big, shiny crystal that's glowing with magic.
Yeah, that should be fine. I grab it.
So, you put your hand onto the crystal.
Everyone's dead.
I would like you to make a... Go ahead and make a willpower saving throw for me, please.
Okay, I get +0 to that.
Oh my god.
Oh dear lord.
A 1.
12.
So, when you put your hand on it, inside your head, you just hear screaming from hundreds upon hundreds of souls. And behind all of this screaming, you just hear this insidious laughter going on.
This is the feedback from his meal. These are the Yelp reviews. Just
These are the Yelp reviews.
And you are going to take wrong die. You are going to take 9 necrotic damage.
Ow.
I like to believe the whole time he's hearing this in his head, he's like, what do you guys want?
Oh, fine.
Still
I'm used to
bored,
hearing that sound when I do the killing.
Good question.
Yes.
Can I give all of these souls to Sithis if I stick the Blade of Woe in it?
That's a good question, can you?
We're about to find out.
Sithis' favorite little bitch.
Do it.
Alright, make an attack with your Blade of Woe. Are you going to try to use...
Not here.
Are you going to try to use any...
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to use the charges to do the necrotic damage.
Okay.
So, how many... What do I roll for that?
Let's see. Blade
It's
of
a
Woe.
normal attack, and it's 2d6.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I got 24 to hit on it.
That hits.
Okay,
Then
now
you
do
roll
I
normal
roll...
damage plus 2d6.
Okay, now do I get to add sneak attack damage since it's not moving?
No.
Fine.
You just touch the crystal and you're gonna sneak attack it. Get ahead of your bugoo.
22 damage.
So, weirdly enough, the blade actually, like, when you invoke the name of Sithis and the Night Mother as you're forcing this blade into the crystal, and there is a hefty amount of resistance, and it's almost painful to try to send this blade into it. But given its otherworldly nature, it does manage to sink into the crystal. And the crystal begins to crack. The hilt to the Blade of Woe begins to glow extremely brightly. And it actually even begins to heat up. You've never seen your blade do this before.
You're gonna overload your fucking blade.
I'm sure the boss man will like it.
The soul gem in the Blade of Woe glows brighter and brighter and actually bursts. And you just managed to pull the blade out just before the ebony casing to the pinion clamps shut and sinks into the ground. And the Blade of Woe is left smoking in your hand. And you're not quite sure whether it's coming from Sithis or from the Night Mother, but you feel a sense of extreme gratification. Go ahead and
just orgasmed in my brain.
practically,
Awesome.
you can get a point of inspiration for that.
Now, does that stack the luck point?
It does not stack.
Damn it. Because I already have one from last time.
Yeah, they don't really carry over more than one session, as far as the way I do it, so.
Alright.
But the pinion clamps shut, and all around you guys, you hear a booming voice, as the voice of Molag Bal echoes through the valley. You've only destroyed my whelps. These minions will not be so easily defeated. I would like you guys to go ahead and roll me a... Okay. Actually, rather, who's closest to the dolmen itself?
Me.
Go ahead and roll a d6 for me and divide the result by 2.
1.
You can't divide a 1 by 2, so
1/2.
That just turns it into a 1.
1/2.
You hear the sound of something whizzing through the air, and behind you crashes to the ground. Okay, Amory, you as someone with an interest of necromancy, this is a wonderful creation that you're staring at. This
You
is
cut
a
out.
Oh, as somebody who's interested in necromancy, this is a wondrous creation that you're looking at now.
I'm so excited.
Same, for different reasons.
As this huge creature, it's a giant humanoid creature made entirely out of bones, like multiple skeletons worth of bones, rises up from the ground, crackling with magic. And Amory, you know this creature to be a bone colossus. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and pause the combat for a bio break. And then we'll pick up in just a little bit.
Oh, yes.
So excited.
If you guys are enjoying this video, feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. Share this video with others. If you are enjoying the thought of Dungeons and Dragons set in the world of the Elder Scrolls, I will include a link in the description below to the website where you can download the source material that you need and possibly even provide a donation to the creator, who has been doing an excellent job, I think, in creating this. So we will catch you guys in the next video. Oh, before I do that, also, Jeffrey, would you like to do a plug for your channel?
Sure. I haven't uploaded in a while, but maybe I will soon. My channel is Pandora's Secret with the apostrophe in